crossword on January 28th, 2026. This one is by Kevin Curry, and I remember some puzzles that he did in the past. I know that he showed up quite recently, but in any case, I'm sure this would be a well constructed one. He certainly has some experience with this. I'm just doing this straight. I'm not covering up. I'm not doing any funny business with covering up half of the clues. I think Wednesday is about the time that I'm starting to do this properly. So here we go. Brazilian berry. I think this might be an acai. I believe they come from Brazil or other places like in the jungle. I think that's how all the superfruit packaging likes to promote it as. So I'm gonna go with that. A member-owned business. It goes down in flames. Ash. Member-owned business could be a co-op. I think that's what it was called. I think that's what it means. Cooperative, surely. Deserving a D. Poor. I think it's not a fail, but it's poor. Hairstyle popular. Okay. Afro. How strange. It's odd. And of course, this is a real word. It's soft. It checks out. So let's see. Something Robinson. I don't know. It makes me think that this is something like he's, like HE''s or something like that. It's maybe like a contraction, possibly the way that these clues are written. But we'll see what else. To score points in Pac-Man, say. What would you do when you score points in Pac-Man? Maybe you eat a ghosts. Maybe you eat, maybe. Like you eat dots, you eat ghosts, you eat cherries, perhaps. Let's see what this is. Article on furniture on which a plate of oats might be set. Horse feeder, maybe. Let's see what this is. To muff, might be to air, to make a mistake. Then I don't know what this is. Let me see if I can... there's got to be a revealer somewhere. Because otherwise, what is this about? An article of furniture on which a plate of oats might be set. It was horse something, surely. Let's see what it is. Ending with lemon or lime. Okay, this I've seen before in various different cluing fashions. This is aid, like lemonade or limeade. Always clued as some kind of like citric fruit drink. Baseball venue could be a diamond. Remove the ropes from is to unrain, perhaps. Okay, this is a mill. Because this is a G is 1,000, so it's a mill. Sex sells is a common adage. Then monster whose gaze remains lethal after death is Medusa. If you look at in her eyes, turns to stone. Came down in a way. Came down. Let's see what this is. M something Robinson. To score points. Okay, this is eat. Then horse stall? Why is there an E at the end there? I think this is probably gonna be part of the clue then. Maybe it's to unlink, to remove the ropes from. Casting rod. Don't know what that is. Thick spiked outer coating. I would imagine there was a thing here that tells you what the revealer is. But let me just see what else I know. Okay, this one is Henri Matisse. Assortment to view on YouTube. Clips or shorts, videos. Tegan, in relation to Sarah, is a sister. I think they would call them sis. And then what is this? TSA pre-check, maybe. Co-name ending, company name ending might be incorporated for it like that. Vegetable resembling a spring onion is a leek. I know that. Assortment clips, yeah, okay. Walk from one coop to another. Chicken something. Chicken wings? Chicken thigh? To avoid as capture could be evade, could be elude. So I'm gonna leave the DE there. Commercial charges. Add rate. Add sales. Add something. Commercial charges. I don't know. Winter setting in New York City is I think Eastern Savings Time. Many August birth is Leo, so always talking about horoscopes, and I think Leo is the shortest horoscope, so it always comes up quite often. Tyrannical ruler is a despot. Squash is like a tiny bit, so maybe just a tad. Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. Oreo containing about 50 calories of Oreo. See, this is one of those cookies. This is one of those answers that shows up so often that, constructors that use Oreo all the time, they get a bit bored of it. So the thing is, like, every time you see a clue that is like strangely specific, it might be something, it might be an answer like this, or it might be something like a common name that shows up, um, then you can expect that it's going to be that common answer. So even if you don't know, like just looking at this, like I have no idea what this 50 calories thing is, just the fact that it is so specific, like makes you think that it's just a very common answer. It's been clued hundreds, thousands of times, and people are just trying to find something new to write about it. And in this case, well, now I learned that an Oreo contains about 50 calories, which is nice. Um, you'll get that a lot with puzzles like that. It's nice to have these sort of metagaming techniques, so like what you should be looking for. I think this might be keep tabs on, and this makes me think this is pleb. Designer one could be. I think it was Cora one. Um, oh no, because letters in an envelope is RSVP. You might get an envelope as an invitation specifically in the mail, and this is Vera one, which I've heard of before. Being flipped on its back. Turtle shell. I don't understand what the theme is with this. I'm just gonna keep going with this. Perhaps this is just about horse or like turtle, like animal stuff. Chicken is here as well. Then what is this? Dragon, perhaps. What is this? Relatives in a sty. Pig pals? Relatives. Pigs. Oh, pig's kin. Oh. Oh, I understand this now. Okay. So being flipped on its back might be a turtle's hell. Like unpleasant situation, I guess. Turtle's hell. And this is pig's kin, so a pig's relatives. And then what is this? Oh, a chicken's trip. And what is this? Throne for a Lion King. Cubs, cub, something. But I understand what this is now. So this is dragon. Okay, so this is horses tall. I didn't know that's how you spelled it. Then this is came down was rained, and this is Mrs. Robinson. So some kind of abbreviation. Yeah. Anticipate. Laundry detergent brand. Gain, I think it was. Uttered was said. Sneak around is to skank? I don't think so. Casting rod. To what could that be? I don't know. Let me just look around. Pay attention to is to heed a warning. Southwest people is Hopi. I've heard of that before. Eric Caro, I think he wrote the Hungry Caterpillar. Toe holds in jigsaw puzzles are edge pieces. That's commonly where you would start. Arctic fishing shelter is an ice hut, perhaps? To skulk, that's what it was. To skulk. That's in Minecraft. There's a new block recently, a few years ago actually, called the Skulk Sensor. It was in the deep caves. I think that's what it's called. And those are ones where if you sort of walked next to it, it would detect the sound and it would sort of release something. And then there would be a monster called the Warden that would come and essentially just one shot you if it heard you. So skulk sensors, skulk meaning to sneak around. In that case, I can justify this because the skulk sensor is something that senses when you've been sneaking around. A humble home is a shack and a chum is a pal. Yeah. What is this too? A wait. Wank. What is no? What? Oh, sorry. It's unbind. Okay, that's more like it. So casting rod is a casting rod. Yeah, you might cast a spell with the wand. Okay, that is more correct, both politically and like in terms of the puzzle. Competitions with anchors. Game shows. I imagine competition with anchors, or it could be sailboat stuff related. Genre for many a mixtape could be rap. I think rap is one of those where you have commonly just remix. You take samples. I think that's very common to do. Outlet store. It might not be rap. Maybe I'm just yapping here. Like some angsty teens. Sad. I don't know. Justice's domain. Justice.gov. What could this refer to? Let's not get caught up in that. Notre Dame, that means lady. Notre means our. Teenager's response to a dad joke might be just kind of a groan. Because I don't know. I feel like people like that write puzzles are just like needlessly hating on teenagers because I think like teenagers are just easy, like an easy target. Angsty teens are always described as angsty for some reason, but a teenager probably would just like groan or eye roll or something to a dad joke because teenagers are no fun. So let's just see what else there is. Of space saver, screensaver, I think that's what it is. Dirk Nowitzki's longtime team to fans. Cavs or Mavs? I forgot which one it is. To stumble. Um, to stumble. Don't know. Mobile food vendor station. Could be a food cart, perhaps. Royal term of address. Sire. Someone's sire. Wolf's down is to snarf down. Oh, add fees. To stumble is to misstep. So there was the Mavericks. Yeah. LAS for Las Vegas, and that's elude, right? Throne for a Lion King is a cat. Right, a lion is a cat, and so there should be a word cat seat. No, a throne. Cat slap. Is a cat slap like one of those things where like see those videos of cats just slapping each other like for some reason? Is it a cat's lap? I don't know. I don't think it is. I thought that son of Seth was or Esau or something. Repellent spray. I'm just gonna go back to that. Functions, uses. Sustainability prefix is eco-friendly, eco-washing, for instance. Repellent spray is mace. Right. Son of Seth. It looks like it is Enos. Oh, cat scan. Right. Okay, that's definitely something. And a can. Oh, that's actually a really clever one because in some ways, like throne for a cat and a can is like a toilet, which is also what you might call a throne. You might call a toilet a throne. Um, what is this? Teenager's response to a dad joke. Massive amount of winnings. Um, competition with anchors. I think this is something. Kayak races, competitions with anchors. Something races. So lame. I think that's what they might say. No teenager would actually say that. I think this is like they're thinking about like teenagers from like the 1990s or something. Massive amounts of winnings, so to speak. So I don't know. Plunders, loots something. Oh, Dragon Slayer becomes a Dragon's Lair. This is nice. Okay, competitions with anchors. Okay, it wasn't actually like boat races. An anchor is like the last person in a lineup of 4 in a relay. So it's a relay race. To wow is to amaze. You might amaze someone. Outlet store. Who might store outlets? Like some angsty teens are emo. Perhaps that's what they say. Justice's domain is law. Outlet store. Power. An outlet might store power. Okay, difficult weather condition is halls. Nice. Okay, this one I was trying to go at reasonably fast with this one, and this one actually took me a lot of time. So, I'm not complaining. Of course, this is a very well constructed puzzle. It took me a long time to figure out what was going on with this. I must say, like this one really threw me for from the start. But this is a nice one. So here, let's sort of talk about what's going on here. So, these are all things that are animals or like close to animals in this case, um, and they're all normally they would be two-word phrases that have an animal and then another word that begins with S coincidentally in all these cases. And so we have all six of these actually. There's quite a lot of themers here. And then what you have to do is you have to reinterpret this as if there is an apostrophe here. So this turns turtle shell into turtle's hell. And then chicken strip becomes chicken's trip. So then the way this is clued is, well, how would you describe a chicken's trip? It might be walking from one coop to another, and all of these are fairly common words as well, and then sort of gets you to rethink these, which I think is great. I think this is a really fun one, um, and I don't know what my reaction was. I don't know if it was audible enough when I first figured out what was going on. I was kind of just focusing a lot, but like this one actually really did amaze me. This is a nice one. Yeah. And there were a lot of these which I'm happy to see. There are a lot of question mark clues as well. These are ones that are quite um sort of unintuitive. Like there's a bit of misdirect. Intentionally, there's misdirect here. So a power for an outlet store. And the thing I like about this one in particular is that this is a very different meaning than what an outlet store literally is. You might have like an outlet mall with a bunch of smaller stores, but in this case, the outlet is a different meaning than what you think it is, and store is also a different meaning to what you think it is. So these two put together gives you a completely unrelated answer, which I think is perfect. Honestly, this is one of the perfect um, question mark clues. Yeah, nice. I also appreciate the sort of balance with fill in the blank as well. I think there's sort of a moderation, like in moderation is good, but I think it's always good to have a few of them because it's you kind of want to have different levels of depth to each of your clues. You don't want all of your clues to be super hazy and like indirect and just kind of trying to trick you. Um, I think it was Joel, one of the editors, who said even for the most difficult puzzles on Saturday, you don't want to have everything just be super wishy washy and unclear. You want to have some that are just very very direct, even for the Saturday ones, because you need to have somewhere for people to get a foothold. And if you just don't give them anything, then it just kind of they won't even be able to solve it and properly enjoy the puzzle. So this is why I like this one. There's, for instance, this one as well, Dia de los Muertos. So there are three, which I think is a good number. Actually, five, which is 3 to 5. I think is a good number of fill in the blanks. For me personally, I like having a bit less, really, but um, each of these is just sort of the choice of the constructor, and I think that this is a really well constructed in any case. So thank you, Kevin, for this puzzle. Yeah, that's what I have to say about this.